game tonight, man.
Or it was.
It was. Bro, I was very impressed. Here we go. You say you gotta work tomorrow? Go over here. What you gotta do?
Hmm?
What you gotta do?
We're gonna teach.
Oh,
Start on, then we got a JUCO game tomorrow.
yeah. How many classes you have? How many days you do during the week?
Yeah, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm off on Fridays because of football.
Yeah. I heard you sound like some more students.
Been busy. Been done good.
Mic check, Gary.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check 1 2.
Mic check,
Huh?
1 2.
Huh? Start the show. Me? Okay. Hold on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gary Swallow for, Jordan Taylor. He's going to be coming in a little bit. But this is Donald Young and Holden Lee. We're going to be doing our recap show for Under the Lights. Great weekend of high school football starting yesterday and today, and going to have a few games for tomorrow. First of all, I want to say thank you to Jordan for allowing us to come together. Donald, what are your thoughts on the weekend so far?
Oh man, awesome games, Gary. You can ask no more than this. We saw some top schools go down today. We saw some schools, some games battle to the end, went to overtime. Action. We witnessed tonight 100 points between two teams scored tonight.
Right.
District time, week
Right.
7 district.
Right.
Yeah.
Great things. How about you, Holden? What do you see so far this week?
Some good games, man. Some real good games.
Yeah, well, we had some great. We're going to kind of go over everything in just a few seconds. One of the most important things that I was impressed with tonight was the fight and the grit of the game that we covered. We covered Westminster and Sacred Heart of Ville Platte. Pretty one-sided, especially towards the end of the game, but it was actually the grit that Westminster put forth. They never quit, and that was really, really exciting for us. And, we're going to get Jordy in here to kind of lead us through everything in a little bit, and we're going to go over some scores.
You have to take your head off to Westminster. Even though they lost, those kids never gave up. At the same time, Sacred Heart knew they had to keep their feet on the gas pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the coach knew the fight that Westminster football team have in them. And they kept going. Number 10, the running back, the starting for the number 10 for Sacred Heart, the starting quarterback for Sacred Heart went down. I think it was number 3 that came in and never missed a beat.
Actually, number 3 and number 5 took over for.
Okay, number
Is
3,
someone
number
phone
5,
still echoing?
and that's what you want to see in
That's
your backup quarterback, especially in a game like this. This game tonight was district champs. Tendencies, Now
Right.
next week will be a meaningful game again. Can Sacred Heart come back and repeat like they did tonight against OC? That district you got OC, Sanders, Westminster, Sacred Heart. You know,
Mhm.
you can't count out Westminster. I mean North Central, because North Central still putting up points.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We
Yeah.
got a lot of scores to go over with tonight, and
Somebody's phone's echoing bad. They said, I'm not sure.
mine's not on. Turn yours down.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay. Yep.
That was me. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you, Cody.
Big Cody.
All right. But like I said, the most important thing that we wanted, to cover tonight was we saw a lot of good sportsmanship in the game that we had. Saw some craziness a little bit, but overall, a lot of offensive power on both teams.
Yes, sir.
Coming in.
All right. Want to get started?
Okay. We'll start when we get Jordy in. He can be our leader. Huh?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Huh? You okay?
What's wrong? Let's get started.
All right,
so
we'll
we
go ahead
can
and get
on,
started.
man.
All right, guys. We're going to just kind of go over the scores today. And we're going to have Holden going to talk a little bit about it and all this. We're going to start off for last night's games.
You guys scored already?
Yeah, I got them right there. I wrote them down. Last night's games we had Kinder and Oakdale. A good friend of mine's offensive coordinator at Oakdale, Mikey Hickenbotham. They came out on top, 29-15. Oakdale over Kinder. Mikey's doing a great job over there. Kinder, they just got hit by a better Oakdale club, that on last night, and they ended up falling a little short, on that. I think you were at the game, weren't you?
Which one?
Kinder and
no,
Oakdale.
that was Jordy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I wasn't sure on that. I didn't get a chance to make that game. Next game we have Livonia and OHS. Now I did not see this game coming, and I won't lie to you, Donald. I did. I had y'all picked, and then I went against y'all, and I'm sorry for that. Opelousas High School, 52, Livonia 6.
Dominant win, huh?
I didn't
Dom?
see that. Dominant win all the way across. Very good win for everybody. What do you think, Donald?
Congratulations to the Tigers. Right now this is now 2-0 with an overall record of 3-3.
I tell you what, Donald. That's
Uh-huh.
District championship. You and Cecilia.
Well, they're gonna celebrate Cecilia and OHS next week.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna you're right, Holden. That gonna tell the tale.
Where's that at? You on home
It's gonna
game?
be a home
That's at OHS.
Man,
Dow
that's-
Garden Stadium.
I hope.
That should be a good
I
game.
hope they pack that game for y'all. I really do.
All right.
It's on the road.
Yeah.
It's okay, OHS.
Well, I hope y'all fans
That's true.
travel.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting game because Cecilia, we're going to cover that later, but Cecilia coming off with a big win tonight on the road.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Next game we had a battle of the unbeaten Isidore Newman out of New Orleans against St. Charles. This is a real tough game. I actually picked the Greenies, but unfortunately St. Charles was a little bit too much. St. Charles comes out on top 12-7.
Well, the last few years, whoever's been the home team has won. So
Right.
that was a good point we made the other night on the show.
Right.
And St. Charles came out victory 12-7.
Right.
That defense is good.
Now, the next game is one that I thought was going to be a barn burner, and it was kind of one-sided. Lafayette Christian Academy and Notre Dame. This is usually the district championship in this district. And LCA came out on top 27-10 with a dominating performance over
This is
Notre
the
Dame.
same-
This was
Yeah,
in Crowley.
You don't think LCA is for real, man? I mean, they beat a
They always for
High.
real.
They beat Notre Dame. I mean, man, Holden. I mean,
always for real.
hey, bro.
But Notre Dame, this ain't the same Notre Dame team I've seen. They haven't really been as. Not saying they're not talented, but this year is kind of a down year
Right.
for them.
But they're 5-1.
I know that, but if you go look at some of their
wins.
wins, though,
Uh-huh.
they've been in close games where they normally in the past haven't been close.
Correct.
Well, yeah.
So-
Well,
And
LCA went to
you've
the
never
Pios
seen
then and
you've
took-
never
took
seen
care
Notre
of
Dame
business.
lose this bad to LCA.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you got
it's
to-
usually a one-score game.
Yeah.
That's how you
Yeah,
understand
well, you
that.
got to take your hat off to Coach Falk and his squad because they go into the Pios den and pull out a victory.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. This is starting with our games for tonight. Basically, my alma mater, Port Barry High School, went down to Lake Arthur, and I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't see this coming. I thought it was going to be pretty ugly, and it ended up being a pretty competitive game. At least the score does. The Red Devils fall tonight to Lake Arthur, 33-30. And I did, like I said, that's the most competitive I've seen the Red Devils in quite a while. They scored 30 points.
30 points.
Gotta give it to them.
Is that the most points they scored this season?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so.
probably. They put up a fight. I'll give them credit.
Right.
Yeah.
Next game we have, this is Holin's alma mater, Fountain Blue,
Fountain Poo.
going against Mandeville. Unfortunately for Holden, it wasn't a close game.
I stuck with my heart like an idiot this week.
Man-
That's the first time I picked him this year.
Mandeville dominates 27-3 over Fountain Blue. Okay, next game we have up is Oberlin versus Elton. Elton's 0-6, Oberlin's 2-4. Oberlin came ready to play. Looks like they come out 47-18. They had a pretty good, night. Elton's still struggling, in search of their first win.
Yo. But they put up points, though.
Yeah,
man.
they're putting on a little bit of points. So,
Yeah. Good.
all right, next one we have Lagrange 0-6 versus Welsh 3-3, and this game was more competitive than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
This game was pretty close, but the Welsh Greyhounds come on top, out on top, 34-27. Let's see, 34-27. That's really a good showing for Lagrange. Is just Welsh a little too strong.
Well, honestly, I thought Russ was going to run away with this, but Lagrange gave him a game.
Right.
But, Lagrange lost a lot since the hurricane. A lot of their athletes left. I mean, they went to Hamilton Christian, they went to LCCP, they even came out to, as far as east as Kinder.
Right.
So Lagrange is not the old Lagrange that we used to know him to be.
Right. Next game we have on tap was Franklin and Jeanneret. Jeanneret having a real tough year. They're 0-6. Franklin, they're 2-3, but boy, did they wake up tonight. Franklin comes out on top 58-14 over Jeanneret. Man, Jeanneret
good,
is
y'all.
struggling.
Franklin really is good.
Who's that?
Franklin. That really is
Yeah.
actually good. They almost beat Lowerville.
Like I was saying, they've lost a lot of a couple games by close margins.
Franklin really is a good team.
So I think that's showing that they just had to get their offense in gear.
Yeah.
Next one, we have Brobridge at Peabody. Man, I thought this was going to be a lot closer. Brobridge dominates, even though Peabody is 0-6. Brobridge comes out on top 66-32.
I wasn't expecting
Man,
that.
I wasn't expecting that score at all. As far as our next one coming up, I kind of foreseen that one. We have North Central versus St. Edmunds. St. Edmunds dominates, but North Central scores some points.
That's 2 weeks in a
that's
row.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 3 weeks. At the third week, they put us in
They
points.
play hard for their coach.
Right. St. Edmunds 56, North Central 24. Now, this next one, I'll be honest with you, I did not have any doubts in this game. I thought it was going to be totally dominated.
It was 28-0 in the first quarter.
The Acadiana Wrecking Rams go to New Iberia to take on the 0-6 New Iberia Senior High, and it was not very pretty.
Acadiana?
42.
Acadiana's rolling.
What's
Acadiana's
wrong with-
rolling 42-0.
What's wrong with the Yellow Jackets?
I'm not really sure.
But Acadiana, they're a new team when the
Right.
district starts.
Right.
Yeah.
They rolling, y'all.
The next one, we have Karen Crow and Northside. This was Northside. They're 1-6 at Karen Crow, the open air Crow Dome.
The
Yeah.
Crow
The
down.
Golden Bears dominate 36-14 to improve to 4-3. Northside still looking, to get back to those winning ways. They are going to be 1-7. Okay.
That's another team, Karen Crow. They're waking up at the right time.
Right.
Yeah, they are down. I was saying that at work today earlier.
They're
Yeah.
getting in there
That's
at
a
the
team
right
you
time.
can't sleep on right now.
Yep.
All right. Next game we have Rain and North Vermilion. Rain's looking pretty good. They're starting to peak out. They're 3-3. North Vermilion struggling this year. They're 5-1.
1-5, 1-5, Big Daddy.
I'm sorry, 1-5. I apologize.
That's okay.
Um,
Been a long night.
Rain comes out on top, 51-21.
It was close at
yeah.
first. It really was. I was watching, but
Yeah.
Rain pulled away. That's a good little team.
West St. Mary and Catholic of New Iberia. Now this was a nail biter.
Close.
Catholic of New Iberia comes out on top, 14-12 over West St. Mary. West St. Mary was 4-2, and Catholic of New Iberia was 2-4. You talk about comeback and just looking pretty good today. The next game we have on top is Washington Marion 3-2 against Eunice 2-4. Boy, the records don't mean anything on this one,
I'm
dude.
telling you.
It was 8-6 for the longest too.
right.
Yeah, it was a close game.
Eunice came up and they dominated 35-12.
Can you believe Eunice pulled out a win on Washington?
Man,
Marion?
on Washington Marion, that's a real close one. Also, next one up, we had Como versus Sulphur. Now, I won't lie to you, I had a gut feeling thinking that Como was going to actually do something, and they disappointed me. Sulphur dominates 29-6, or 28-6, I'm sorry, and it was just total domination by Sulphur. To come out and take the win from Como.
Well, bro, I told y'all it's hard to be Sulphur at home. Sulphur have an awesome fan base at home,
Yeah.
and to go over there and beat the Tornadoes at their place is a very hard task to complete. Yeah,
I said Como. That's 2 weeks in a row. They lost last week. Bad to
Right.
who was it? LCA or Acadiana, whoever it was.
Right.
But
well, that next one hurt me
it's 2
bad.
weeks
Yeah.
in a row. They lose bad.
The
Go
next
ahead,
one we
go
had
ahead,
4-2 East Beauregard versus 2-4 Basile.
I did not see that.
Records don't mean anything, does it, Olin? Not at all.
I did
Donald
not.
Winsor
I did not.
Beauregard,
all right,
y'all. That's
all
what
right,
they say.
Holman.
Yeah.
I did not see
Yeah,
that one.
Donald had to go with Sabo, but I'm gonna tell you, Basile put it on them 48-28. Great victory for the Basile
Yes,
Bearcats,
yeah,
Sam Bacon,
yeah.
and all those coaches out there. Congratulations on a dominating performance.
Congratulations, Coach Baker.
Heck yeah.
Next game coming up, Delcom versus Laurelville. Now this is kind of a rival game because they're so close to each other. But man, Laurelville continues to roll. They're 6-0 now, 7-0. They dominate 42-13 over Delcom.
Louisville keeps on rolling,
Laurelville
y'all.
keeps
Yeah,
on rolling.
Keep going.
Next game up on the list, Abbeville versus Crowley. This was in Abbeville. Home field advantage works, but man, they're 5-1 and they're dominating, and Crowley is really struggling this year. Final score was 46-14 Abbeville.
But Abbeville had a chip on their shoulder. They had to show people that they fought for real, even though they lost last week
They had a close
to,
loss
to
to
the
St.
Ville,
Martinville.
to
That's
St.
right.
Martinville. They had to show, hey, look,
Yeah.
we lost this one here.
Then
We-
you
we
had
gonna come back
that
and
running
take-
back return this week too.
Yeah,
so
that's
gave
what I
him
said.
that
Yeah,
Right.
I got
two-headed
word on
monster.
the running
Right.
back, and I got to call and see what he did, what kind of stats he had.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out on that, but just trying to.
The king of
That's right.
Opelousas next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catholic of Point Coupee versus Opelousas Catholic. I did not see this spread coming. I thought it was going to be a lot closer game. Opelousas Catholic comes out on top, 27-8 over the Catholic High of Point Coupee. Like I said, I thought this was going to be a lot closer game, but OC moves to 6-1. What a district race they have in this division, this group right here. Next game up on there is 6-0 Iowa versus Jennings. I'm sorry, Jennings is struggling this year. Iowa comes out on top, big win, 56-19. Iowa is tough.
Powerhouse,
They're
man.
going 7-0. Got a chance to basically make a statement for the playoffs and a run for the Dome.
Well, he said everybody thought with Etienne, little brother, Etienne, the running back, playing, everybody thought that he would be able to carry the team this year. But
Not against Iowa.
Not
Not
against
against
these
that
teams.
team.
I'm sorry.
That team's
Yeah.
loaded.
All right. Next game up, St. Martinville 4-2 against Kaplan. DeVille. I'm sorry. Pretty one-sided. St. Martinville went to Kaplan and dominated 44-12 in extraordinary fashion. They just did not look back.
And though you know how hard it is to win in Capital.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. They got a lot of pride in that.
Oh
town.
yeah. Oh yes, sir.
Okay, next game up, we had Highland Baptist against Vermilion Catholic. Well, Vermilion Catholic, they just kept on running. They're 3-3. They beat a Highland Baptist team that was 4-2, and they just didn't beat them. They dominated. 40-0 was the final.
Oh yeah,
That
that
was
Catholic, they're good. The Vermilion
decent.
Catholic, they're good, man.
Right.
Shoot,
Okay, Lafayette and Barb.
I lost this one. Yo.
I lost this game because I thought Barb was going to come in stronger than that.
I read
Uh,
I read on one of the posts on Facebook that number one receiver in Louisiana for Barb, at halftime he had 0 catches. I don't know how he had at the end of the game, but
Right.
the first half he had 0 catches.
Well, it was a back and forth game. It looks like it was one of the whoever had the ball last won, type games.
Was it
35-28 final score.
Man,
Lafayette
hey,
comes out on
that's
top.
Mixed emotions with that Lafayette team.
Right. It seems like Lafayette can.
You don't know what team
They're up and down.
gonna
You
do.
don't
Yeah,
know which
you don't
one's
You
know
beat
that.
Karen
Yeah.
Crow, then you beat Barb, and then who they lost to? Some last 2 weeks bad losses. I
Yeah.
forgot who it
Yeah,
was.
you don't know what team gonna show up on the
They
Friday
had some
night.
upset
I
losses.
really don't know who
Yeah.
to pick whenever they play, y'all.
Right.
It's just I don't get that team.
Next game up on the list is Southside and Sam Houston. I'm going to tell you something. Don't turn your back on the Southside Sharks.
I love that school.
That is a very good. Coach Fontenot's got them kicking over
And
there. I
they
really like seeing
dominated
that.
Sam Houston. That's a well-known program.
Sam Houston falls in Youngsville at the Shark Stadium, 44-21, and that had to be very good for Coach Fontenot.
What up, Big Sam?
Yeah. The next game is, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm with you, Holden. You picked them to be the state champions, and I got to say, if they keep playing like they are, they're going to be.
Alex, where you at, Alex?
Church Point
I don't
High
see you in the
School
comments.
versus Northwest. Northwest had a struggle. Church Point went to Northwest and put it on them 54-6.
And then look what they did to Iota.
Right.
That defense for Church
Church
Point.
Point. Church
Where's
Point,
Alex at in the Northwest
Right.
Raider fans? I was
He's nowhere
commenting.
to come.
Yeah, I got you.
And Mr. Jolly.
Next game was Hamilton Christian versus Grand Lake. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I picked this wrong. Grand Lake has always been, the team to beat in that district. They've been doing real good. They're 6-0 coming in. Hamilton Christian went to Grand Lake and beat them 24-21. That must have been an awesome
Can we say
game.
that was an upset game?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's definitely an upset. Next game up, Pine Prairie 4-2 against Mamu.
I wasn't expecting
3-3. This
Hey,
is
too.
a shock to
Yeah.
me
Yes, sir.
because Mamu defended their home turf and beat Pine Prairie 50-34. They put 50 on them.
50.
50.
Well, you know what? They were always did able to score points. Look, they lost to Beauchamp, but they put 34 points. Slow down,
Right.
down. 34 points on Beauchamp.
I just expected Pine Prairie's offense to score more than 34, but
Correct.
I
Correct.
wouldn't. I was surprised.
Right, man. Let's see. Here we go. Next game up,
How about
St.
them Bears?
Louis
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
against
Lake
Lake Charles College Prep. Did you see that coming?
Yeah, I picked Lake Charles.
I picked
College
Lake
Prep.
Charles College Prep too. How about you, Don?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Mhm.
Lake Charles College Prep beat St. Louis
Yes, sir.
34-20. All right, now this next game was just by the score, it
That
was
hurt-
real
that-
tight.
that hurt my
But that game there, I consider this one of the upsets. You have 3-2 St. James versus 5-1 Donaldsonville.
That hurt me, that Gary.
St. James ended up
On the road.
on the road beating Donaldsonville 24-22. What an upset.
What a game.
Yes, that had to be back and forth.
That's back-to-back
One of
weeks. Donaldsonville loses like.
Right.
Oof.
Next game on the list is Westgate and
Nope,
St. Augs. That's
tomorrow.
going to be tomorrow. St. Paul's
That was
and
Thursday.
North Shore. That was Thursday. St. Paul's and North Shore.
Yep.
St. Paul's beats North Shore 21-17. This one here, Grant and Gina. 5-1 Grant versus 5-1 Gina. Boy, did we not see this coming.
No, we didn't.
Y'all.
I did not see this coming.
Gina Hunt.
Gina
31
Hunt.
points on the
Yeah,
board.
Gina
Excuse
Hunt.
me, I'm sorry.
31 points on Grant. So that just lets them know Gina is for real.
What a goose egg on Grant
Right,
like that, yo.
Grant. That-
Was
that-
expecting that. Huh,
That
Donald?
really,
I'm
that
not
really,
lying.
Not zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
They didn't score nothing.
yeah.
What
that
expecting
was,
that?
That
Not
was
with that
very,
big offensive line they got.
That was very unexpected.
Who you pick on that one, Holden?
He picked
I
Gina.
picked Gina.
Yeah,
Okay.
I picked Gina myself, but I just
I would-
I thought it was going to be a closer game than that.
I would
See,
be
Troy,
Grant.
that's why I picked St. James, Troy.
Next game, 4-0 E.D. White versus 5-1 Patterson.
Really, Patterson. That
Donald,
was
I'm
bad.
sorry, but you know,
It broke another heart.
And you know what's crazy, Donald? You picked them
What?
last week.
I
This
sure
week.
did.
against,
Right.
and they were playing against a better team last
Right.
week.
But
That was
E.D.
a
White,
heartbreaker.
E.D. White comes out on top. They hang 21 points on. They go to Patterson, hang up 21 points, and shut them out. 21-0. E.D. White.
E.D.
over
White
Patterson.
told me, "Oh, tradition. We're gonna show y'all tradition."
That's right. Next game, I didn't expect the point spread. Hell, I didn't even expect them to win. But Cecilia, with all the injuries and everything that they've had this year, they came in. They went into Beauchene, and they doubled them up.
Wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that score. They scored 40 points on them, and they beat them 40-20. 4-2 Cecilia versus 5-1 Beauchene.
District championship
Yeah,
next week.
Man, they're looking out. District championship
Well,
might
see,
be coming.
You know that goes back to Opelousas High School because they have 3 more district games left. You know, Broadbridge, Opelousas High get a win, at least one win in their last 3 district games that make the playoffs.
Correct.
You know, now, I know they played Beauchene last. Next week, set up. OHS and Cecilia.
Ooh,
Might be.
OHS got to go on the road to Cecilia, man.
Right.
that's gonna be tough though.
That's gonna be. There you go.
That's gonna be tough, Big
It's gonna be
Dom.
very hard to
They winning without that
Right.
stud quarterback too. Just
Right.
imagine if he was there right
Right. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Next game. You can call this an upset. You can call this not. You can call it whatever you want. You had 5-1 Turlings against 2-4 St. Thomas More. Turlings went to Cougar Stadium at St. Thomas More, and St. Thomas More said, "Not so fast."
now. I say it's an upset just because of
You
what
know.
You
the
think it's
re-
an upset, man?
Yeah, because I mean you don't have your star player.
Walker Howard goes out, and they've been doing pretty well without him.
Yep.
You know, so but Turlings comes up short. Turlings, myself, I picked him. I don't know who else picked him
I
on the
picked
panel.
Turlings.
I
I
picked
picked
Turlings,
We all picked
but
Turlings.
St. Thomas More said no. In overtime, St. Thomas More wins 41-35.
And Turlings
over
was
Turlings.
up late.
Congratulations to the Cougars.
Yes.
Turlings was
was
up
up.
late
That was,
in the
that
fourth
was
quarter.
a hard-fought
Right.
game.
The game that we covered tonight.
What a game.
What a game! A lot of points being scored.
Oof.
Sacred Heart 5-1, Westminster 6-0. Man, this was
A total
a-
of 103
yeah.
points scored in this game.
you had offensive going, and me and Jordy talked about it. They said whoever, if there's no turnovers, Westminster had to keep up with Sacred Heart. Well, they had some turnovers, and Sacred Heart just kept pounding. I'm gonna tell you right now, I saw an offense that was really like a well-oiled machine.
I still say the turning point of this game, my friend, early in the third quarter,
Thank you, Austin
Westminster
Darbone.
get the ball
Appreciate
to
that,
go
buddy.
down, go down, to start the game, to start the third quarter. You know, Gage dropped back through a pass to his receiver. I mean,
Hit him in the hands.
hit him in the hand.
That was almost like the
If
turning
they
point.
catch that, if he catch that ball, nobody stopping him. The game
Tied
is
again.
tied.
That
No.
was a big point.
Big
But
Yeah.
that was a turning
But
point.
we got to tell you
No.
too, Sacred Heart had a opportunity too because they had a receiver drop the ball in his hands too in the
True,
next possession,
true.
and that could have taken it to the house also. So that was really a tip for tap. But the turnovers were the key part of the game.
I think he had
I
2
think-
pick sixes on
Yeah.
back-to-back drives.
Back drives.
But they say a lot about the quarterback Gage
But it's-
for Westminster because
Yeah.
you know he could have gave up and but that kid didn't. He came back and threw a strike to I think it was number 10 or 44. They ran it in,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then
They don't give up under Coach Travis.
Oh no.
They kept
no.
fighting. You know,
And you know what? That's a compliment from the coaching staff.
Right.
and
they
Coach
feed off
Travis.
his energy.
You got to give. I'm sorry.
No,
You got to
no,
give Sacred Heart their props
Oh, yeah.
because the offensive line opened the holes up. I mean, what was that
10?
kid? Number
Number
10.
10.
That kid had himself a
Well,
game,
he averaged at least 15
He
yards
was
per carry.
fast.
Well,
Remember, their quarterback starter left the game, and the backup came in and did just as good as a job.
But I'm gonna tell you, and just not cutting you off. 45 for Westminster, their running back was a horse for them. He was a
man.
hunter.
Oh, yeah.
10, the running back for
Sacred
Heart was awesome. But when their starting quarterback went down and their second team or backup quarterback came in, and he did just as good, and he ran for 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah.
They put it on there. It was hard to stop.
But you see, I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Final score on this was 68-35. Sacred Heart. They broke 100. Jordy called it. He said we're going to break 100 points, and he did.
Tell you
and
what,
they called it.
You got to look at. I think Westminster towards the end. I think fatigue started selling in, and I mean, Sacred Heart had more numbers. You
Right.
know the Sailors was going both sides.
Right.
You know, you look at Gage. Gage was playing quarterback, then he had to go back and play
Yeah, I
cornerback.
figure death took a big
Yeah.
toll in this game. Them boys was
Right.
just
They
worn
were
out.
gassed.
I mean,
They were gassed. And you know what? Even though they were gassed, they never stopped.
No.
you don't hang your head,
Coach,
down on that.
I'm gonna tell you something, Coach. I hope you're watching. You're doing such a good job with Westminster. These kids could have easily given up, and they didn't. They could have easily
Tigers,
scored
Chris.
at the end
Austin.
of the game. They could have scored at
Yep.
the end of the game.
Yep.
But,
And,
you know,
you got to give it to them, man. Them
yeah.
boys, that's a good team. But I think it runs out of Sacred Heart or Opelousas.
Right.
Well,
Well, we're gonna see.
you
We're
gonna see
gonna
next
see.
week, man. That's next week.
All
huh?
right, yeah.
Yep.
Next game on tap: Southern Lab 4-2 against Ascension Episcopal Blue Gators out of
1-2.
Youngsville.
Yep.
You want to talk about an awesome ball game? This was tip for tap. One of the ones that
And Southern Lab was up.
I told you.
yes, we were keeping scores up. And Southern Lab was up pretty good, and Ascension Episcopal came back. But it's a little too. How to say it? Not quite enough to overcome Southern Lab. Southern Lab wins 33-31 over Ascension Episcopal. I'm gonna tell you, Ascension Episcopal is for real.
Oh, they did.
They are a good ball club, but the kittens they were really
And
strong.
They
have
they were up
athletes.
big, so Ascension
Yeah.
Episcopal actually made a little
Made
late
a
run.
run. Right.
It's something about those laboratory schools. Either you got
Athletes.
Grandin
Yeah.
Lab, you got
They got-
U-High,
yeah.
Southern Lab.
Athletes.
Athletes, man.
Athletes.
And that's a feeder program for the college.
And they always talk about,
Right.
I know Lafayette and New Orleans always has big athletes, but Baton Rouge never gets credit.
Oh man.
Right.
You ever notice?
Oh,
you ever
man.
notice the first thing everybody's mouth is either Lafayette or New Orleans or Lafayette,
But-
and they always leave out Baton Rouge.
Baton
Right.
Baton
And
Rouge
Baton
got talent.
Let's
bro.
name before we go.
Yeah.
Let's just name 5. You got Southern Lab, Madison Prep, Cottonville, Catholic High. I'm gonna say Catholic High.
You got ULab and all them
ULab.
boys.
Man,
Yeah.
that's just 5 schools
Catholic
right there.
BR.
Not even
Right.
talking about Central and McKinley.
Right.
Man.
Oh yeah, you got some good ones.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go to our next one. 6-0 Natchitoches Central going to go against 6-0 Captain Shreve. Let me tell you something. This was a barn burner from what I saw in the scores. Captain Shreve is for real. They're back like in the days when
They were up
by
24
powerhouse.
nothing.
Oh, it's Lincoln.
Yeah.
Prep.
They were up
Oh, okay.
24
Thank you,
nothing.
Chris.
So Natchitoches Central
Right.
made a late comeback,
Right.
but Captain
Captain
Shreve
Shreve
is
is for real.
the real deal, y'all. That's a
They
damn
come
good
out-
team, y'all.
The final score 31-20 Captain Shreve over Natchitoches Central. Next game up, we were listening to this and we
Oh,
were talking
my
about
God.
this all while in the stands. We were listening to it kind of. And
Oh, this a bad.
6-0 of Oils versus 5-1 Manny, defending state champs.
Who would have thought? I don't know.
We were listening to it. We have some questions and everything on it. But man, Avoyles had an opportunity to keep Manny out, run out the clock, couldn't do it. Manny got the ball back.
And remember,
ended up scoring.
they
short
went
field.
for it. I know they always go for it,
Right.
but they went for it on their own,
their own
28 yard
28. It
line.
was 28.
It's-
They went for it on their own
man.
28, and Manny got the ball back and scored. And Avoyles had an opportunity. They were driving the ball down, and they just ran out of time. Sad to see one of these two teams left, but Manny's the state champions until somebody beats them. So tonight, Manny beats Avoyelles 34-30.
But they made a statement.
Well,
I mean,
they
Vols made a statement.
Yeah.
You know, he said he never punts. You know, and that you live by the game plan, you die
Right.
by your game plan.
Right.
But I'm very proud of Vols, and I think they're gonna run deep into the playoffs, and I really think they're gonna make it to the dome.
Avoyelles?
Oh, yeah,
that's
they,
just.
they may.
I mean,
this is the year.
you at Manny, and you right
it's
there.
dome or bust for
Yeah.
Avoyelles this year.
I just
because
wish,
of the size of
I
their
just
school.
wish that Avoyelles would have punted the ball, even though I know they don't punt. It's like
Yeah.
At
damn,
least a push kick.
something. You gotta at least have somebody that could pooch kick or
Right.
something.
But that I mean,
Right.
like I say, you live by your game plan, you die by your game plan.
Right.
But Coach Andy Poon, excuse me, Coach Boone, I think he have an awesome game plan. It worked for him for 6 weeks in a row, and I don't see him changing
Well,
anytime soon.
Well, no, and he's not going to. And you
No,
know what?
I don't
shouldn't if
think
it's
he
working.
should.
But today, Manny came out on top. They were playing at Manny, and it's hard to win out there.
Yeah.
Manny wins 34-30.
Mm-hmm.
Last game on the list, this one here, I know I got wrong. This was one of the labs that we were talking about. University Lab 6-0 going against 6-0 Madison Prep.
I got that one wrong too, bro.
That's my sticker pick
That's,
too.
that's one of the ones where you go in there and you see these teams with all of this talent, and it's a shame that one of them has to lose. But tonight, University Lab comes out on top of
On the
Madison
road.
Prep on the road, 37-29. And man, I tell you what, if I'd have been a bird, I'd have been watching that game.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
tell you
yeah,
what, it'd have been
yeah.
something because
Man.
you're seeing all the talent that comes right there.
And points was scored in this game.
Yep,
Right.
Madison Prep made a late comeback.
I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but yet
they were up big,
it
but
was-
Madison Prep made a late
Yeah.
comeback.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. You
'Cause
know,
you was watching- you was
it
watching
pretty
as
good.
well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was keeping us informed about a lot.
But man, ULAB is the real deal, y'all.
Right.
Every year.
Every
year.
year.
Yeah, but after that, on the road against the 3A state champions,
You're right.
Yeah, the go.
Woo.
Man.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, that's pretty much the scores that we have. We're gonna have let's see, helmet stickers and upsets and everything like that. We're gonna see that. We'll see if Jordy's gonna come back and you're gonna come in. All right.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. That's fine. Helmet stickers for today. We're going to go in, and I'm going to start off with Holden. Go ahead and give me your 3 helmet stickers.
well,
for
one of
today.
them was ULAB. I said a while ago. My next one is my 3A state champion pick, Church Point.
Right.
That team's just on another level, y'all.
Correct.
And my other one, Mr. Donald, I'm gonna give OHS one. I'm gonna show some love for OHS, man.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna show it's 3 wins y'all got in the year. It's a good little year for y'all.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Well, and they scored some points.
Y'all right there in
They
district.
did,
I mean,
man.
they're right
They
there for
did.
district. So I mean, you gotta give it to them. I picked y'all to win Big Cody,
Right.
but I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
ahead,
well
Mr.
since you
Donald.
said OHS, I'm gonna skip OHS. I'm gonna go with the other 3. I'm gonna say my helmet stickers gonna go to the game of Sacred Heart and Westminster. Okay, I think that was an awesome game. You know, then we got St. Martinville. I'm gonna give my helmet sticker to them, and Southern Lab. Yep.
Right. Well, I'm going to kind of stay local a little bit on that. I was going to do OHS, but, I knew you were going to do it, so I saw you write it down, so I kind of went. So, as far as showing off the helmet sticker and showing off their success, Sacred Heart dominated this game.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
got to give them one.
Yep.
Church Point High School. Big Cody, what's happening,
Big
buddy?
Cody in the house.
Church Point High School. I got to give them one for the dominance on that. Like
Yeah.
I said, I think they're going to go into the championship. And believe it or not, you might be kind of, I guess you'd say biased because I know these guys, but Southside. I got to give Southside a sticker because of the dominance that they did tonight. And they're just doing so well, as far as being in that district. So I think that they deserve one of the stickers. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
Freaking dude, that team.
That
That team's rolling, man.
They're rolling right now.
Well, all
They
right,
started
who's
off slow.
Who's your game of the night?
My game of the night, bro.
Yeah.
I have really I have three of them. Mainly over Vols.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good game.
How about OC over Perkapee Catholic?
Yeah,
Okay. And then once again, Sacred Heart over Westminster.
that was a good game.
Because
Good
they
game, we
they
covered
put
it.
up 103 points on the board.
It was exciting, man.
Yeah.
Jordy
was.
called it. He said
Yeah.
it was going to get 100, and he got it.
Yeah,
That was an exciting
Jordy
game,
called
though.
that one.
What do you got, Holden?
I'm gonna just pick one game of the night, and I know it was last night, but I'm gonna give it to St. Charles, beating Arch Manning and Newman.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
the week before, them boys only allowed a shutout against De La Salle. So
Right.
St. Charles mine.
Who won out of Turlings and STM?
STM.
Is Walker Howard
Yeah.
still out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Man,
he's going to shoot him off.
Honestly,
Yeah, he will.
the game that I think was just game of the night, and I just have one, but and I didn't see it, but I just by the score, it's got to be Southern Lab, and Ascension Episcopal.
Yeah, that was a good
I
game.
mean, I think that it's a 33-31 game. That's the only one that I got as far as game of the night.
You're right, Chris. Punt the ball. If they punt the ball,
I think
the
it was
Royals has a chance.
an awesome ball game.
Yeah.
There are a few others that are close and that I really liked, and like the Sacred Heart and Westminster game, I really liked that game too. But that was more of a big point spread on that one.
Yeah.
This was a tit for tat game. Even you can say what you want. The St. James and Donaldsonville game was close like that too.
That was a
You
good
know, so
game.
that was a good game of the night. So you got a lot of different things that have arose as far as games, and it's going to only get harder.
Well, how about
Did Ascension Episcopal win?
no? They lost. How
They
about
lost
Port
to
Barry?
Southern
Shout out to Port
Yeah.
Barry.
Hey, Port
Shout
Barry
out to the
played
Big
game
Port.
today.
You watched them?
I was there.
Port Barry played. That was a good game, even though our alma mater lost. The
Did
Lake
you
Arthur.
expect them to put up 30 points?
I did not expect them to put up 30 points.
It was a good game. Real
Good
good
game. So we got some eyewitness that Port Barry had a
They
good
were,
game.
they
So
were running a train offense.
So what we
Right.
got now? The upset of the night?
Yeah. Who's your upset?
here's your upsets.
My upset, Hamilton Christian over Grand Lake.
Yeah. Oh damn,
They
that's
beat Grand Lake?
Yep, that's a good one right there,
First
Don.
loss.
Yep.
VC over Howland. I'm saying. And I got Eunice over Washington Marion.
I got that one too.
Yeah, that's the three I got.
Whoa, now.
All right, mine. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Mine. I got, believe it or not, I got Mamu over Pine Prairie because I didn't expect that. I got Eunice over Washington Marion, and I got Catholic and New Iberia over West St. Mary.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect those. That to me,
Yeah.
those are upsets.
But Crawley last week.
Big guy Holden, what you got, babe?
30.
I'll say my upset. I'm gonna have to give it to. Dang, y'all took a lot what I was about to pick, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
You pick the same one.
No, I'm a. Man. I'll go ahead and say Lafayette over Bard, man. I mean, wasn't expecting that.
All right.
I'm gonna roll with that
Lafayette
one.
over Bar. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with that one.
That's
Big
good.
Daddy. Yep.
All right. Well, we're coming down to the end of the show, guys.
Yes, sir.
And, we had some great picks and everything. We want to thank all of our sponsors, everybody that's involved with the show. Jordy for, allowing us to come out and pick some games and go out there with him and do all kind of fun stuff.
Yeah,
The most important thing we want to thank, not only with Jordy and all of you guys, is our sponsors that have supported us and made it possible for us to continue to do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yep.
Any words?
Couldn't
Well,
say it better.
I think we had a great night tonight. Our team, once again, we got some compliments, from Westminster fans, from the Sacred Heart fans, Jordan. Thanks to Jordan, our leader, you know, for bringing us together to do something that we love.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody take care. See y'all next Wednesday. Be safe. Please be safe. And I'm going to say it again. Get your booster shots. If you don't take your booster shots, you have to get your initial shots. You know, protect yourself.
Right. Good luck to all of the high schools playing tomorrow, and everybody. Hope you stay safe. We're going to be doing some JUCO football tomorrow. You know, tomorrow during the day, I think it starts at what time? Starts at 2:00. We're going to be at the stadium in Broussard, and we're going to be hopefully having a good game. I'm not used to familiar with that, so Jordy's going to have to put us in a good spot the way we can actually do that. Hopefully, go out there and get a good place to see a great game. Like I said, we love doing the football, whether it's JUCO, high school, semi-pro, or women's football. It doesn't matter. We like doing that. And I think that's about it. Any other things we need to announce, Mr. Jordy? Okay.
Thanks once again to Holly and my beautiful wife, Miss Cookie, for coming out to help us with the stats and everything else that y'all do. Thanks a lot, ladies.
No problem, guys. Look forward to the future. Holden, big ball right here.
Cody
right
Till
there.
next week.
Till next Wednesday, whenever we pick it out, we'll see y'all
under
later.
the lights.
Under the lights. Thank you.